everybody, so my name's Lord WizKid, and if you don't know, I have been doing a lot of stuff about the SPL and seeing which teams have which teams can qualify into the Dreamhack Spots. So week 9, we're just about coming to the end of it. We've only got 2 more games this weekend, so on Monday, which happen to be Cringe Crew vs Leftovers and Enemy vs Denial Esports. I'll get those in a bit, but I'm just going to read out what I said on the post. So this is all about the Reddit post, and sorry for the trippy bit that is about to happen here. So again, let's go. So as you can see here quite clearly, Enemy is currently 18-6. They have 4 more games to play, 2 more wins to guarantee their spot into the top 3. Eager are 16-8. 4 more games to play, 4 more wins to guarantee themselves into the top 3. Now that is a little bit of a misnomer, because of course Enemy and Eager can still fight each other. I haven't even looked at those two yet, and I imagine from what I've seen, again I've been using Smite.esportspedia. Use it if you want to see these guys. See this also, because it is so much easier to see everything. But Enemy versus Eager, let's see if I find those matches. So you can see there's a 2-0 to Enemy and Eager here. So in week 4, the last week, and then Enemy faced Eager this week and went 2-0 against them. So that is a 2-2 against each other, meaning that if Enemy and Eager tie, they will go to a best-of-1 tiebreaker split. So those two really want to win their games. They have to win their games if they want to be able to qualify for these final 2 spots. Now, of course, because there are 2 spots, that means that both of them can win, but that's sort of all that you need to know about them. They're going to have a lot of fun, but they are the 2 top teams currently aimed to get into the North American SPL and into Dreamhack. Luminosity, on the other hand, they've got a bit more fun to do. They have 4 more games left, meaning that they can only get a maximum of 18 wins. Because of that, that means that they can only get 3rd place if they tie Eager. Because if they were to tie Enemy, so that's assuming that Enemy does not get any wins at all anymore, and Luminosity get all 4 wins, they would actually still lose that tiebreaker, because Enemy are, I believe, 3-1 in the sort of series against each other. So that would mean that Enemy is what is impossible for Luminosity to beat Enemy. They can only beat Eager, and they can do that if they tie Eager's score. If they go above that, that's even better, but that's assuming that Eager only gets a maximum of 1 win. They still have 4 more games to play, so this is the best position for them. That is assuming that Eager only gets 2 wins, and they are up against Envy and Denial. So this is very close for Luminosity. They have to do well. Denial, on the other hand, they have a bit more leeway, and when I say a bit more, they are actually in a best-of-1 tiebreaker situation against Enemy and Eager, and they will beat Luminosity if they get into a tiebreaker there for whatever reason. So yeah, Denial have the best potential against any of them. They have a maximum of 19 wins, but they still have to get those wins. And more importantly, they are up against Enemy tonight. They are fighting for their rights to stay in the Dreamhack Spots tonight. If they lose their games against Enemy, they still have a chance. They will have a maximum of 17 wins, so they have to assume that Eager do not get the 2-0 against Envy. But Denial needs to get at least 1 win tonight to be able to secure their chance to stay in Dreamhack and they are also going to need to 2-0 Eager. If they 1-1 Eager, that's going to be game over, unless Eager don't get any wins against Envy. And like, there's so many potential ways that Denial can get into Dreamhack. There are so many potential ways they can either go against Enemy and try and get as many as them, but they only have a 1 win gap, so that has to assume that Enemy do not win against either Denial or Allegiance, and if they do, they only get 1 win. They can go up against Eager. There's a little bit more of a gap there. They have to assume that Eager doesn't get 2 wins against Envy, and they can easily go up against Luminosity, but who cares, because Luminosity has a more difficult chance of getting into those top spots anyway, so that means that Denial should pretty much just be ignoring Luminosity at this point and just focusing on Eager. They need to win their games tonight. If they do not, that is pretty much it for Denial. They only have a very, very small chance. Tonight is their night. EU, on the other hand, is not as dramatic, but it is still important. So we see Panthera is qualified and Paradigm is qualified, which means there is only 1 more spot left. And the biggest thing, this was a cleanse week. Dignitas and Leftovers are out. They cannot get 15 wins. They cannot beat Hungry for More. Those 2 are now out, which means that Hungry for More and Cringe Crew are the only 2 left to try and get this spot. Hungry for More has 2 more games to play. They are games against Leftovers, and so they need to get those games. If they don't, that gives Cringe Crew more of a chance to get this spot, because they still have 6 games to play, and they only need 3 to tie against Hungry for More. And if I'm correct, Cringe Crew and Hungry for More actually are tied between one another. I'm looking at the wrong one, damn it. Yeah, so Cringe Crew versus Hungry for More 2-0'd here, and then this week, last week, Hungry for More 2-0'd Cringe Crew. So that means they're 2-2 in their sets, and that means if Hungry for More and CC tie, it will go to a best of 1 tiebreaker. So Hungry for More needs to get those wins, try and secure their spot as well as possible. Keep in mind, Cringe Crew, it's also against Panthera. Panthera have been dropping games, and more importantly, they've dropped a game to Cringe Crew in the past. That is huge. This actually gives Cringe Crew probably the best chance that they have, because they know that they can at least take 1 game off, and as long as they take 1 game off, that means that they will be able to tie Hungry for More, even if Leftovers, even if Hungry for More wins against Leftovers. So that means that, but that is of course assuming that Cringe Crew gets all the other games, so they have to go 5-1 in that case. This is close. This is insanely close, but Cringe Crew and Hungry for More still have tons of potential here. Both of them can do ridiculous amounts of stuff. They can all still qualify. All of these teams can still qualify. The only ones that are out completely are Fnatic, Torpedo, Dignitas and Leftovers in EU, and Allegiance, Envy and Grandozos in North America. This is a tight game, tight week. Everybody is going to have to play to the best of their abilities. If these teams don't play well, they can lose their Dreamhack spot, and you do not want to be losing that this week. Watch the SPL. This is going to be fun. My name's Lord WizKid, and I'll see you later.